What's up, YouTube? This is Tom, Fresh Vintage. We have a very special guest here, Aaron. Aaron,
Hey.
thanks so much for taking the time to be here.
No problem at all.
This is Aaron Duncan, and we have a car here. This is the Frankenboss, an awesome Mustang. We're going to walk around and take a look at this thing and chat with Aaron about it right now. Tell me about this car. Obviously, it's a Mustang. It's a new old mix. Let's look under the hood because I just have so many questions in my head that are just popping in my head right now.
All right.
Looking at this, obviously we have a Boss 302 on the top here. We have a really nice rockin' V8. What inspired you guys to build this exact Mustang?
So obviously, like I said, Aaron Duncan, Duncan Brothers Customs, our kind of niche in the things we've always done is taking new Mustangs and making them look like old Mustangs. In that, we've done, the John Wick car, we've done Shelby's, we've done Bullets. We've pretty much done every kind of vintage Mustang we could. And after 5 years of doing a bunch of those, we just wanted to create one that was totally different, totally unique, going to be one of one. And so last year when we came to the drawing board after SEMA, we started taking all of our favorite ideas from multiple muscle cars. It didn't matter the brand, it wasn't brand loyalty, it was what if we could create something where it had elements of every muscle car and it just all blended together incredibly well.
And you guys have hit the bullseye here. This is a 10 out of 10 because I look at it and my eye is seeing, it's seeing a duality. It's seeing both old and new.
Yes.
And forgive me, we were talking a minute ago off camera about it being, did you guys put a body on top of this or did you blend the body panels together? Or?
It's blended. So the car actually started out as a very rare 2012 Boss 302 Laguna Seca. I only made about 700 of them. It's kind of hard to see under the engine bay, but on top of that Boss intake, you can actually see the data plate that came from Ford.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Being one of the rare ones, yeah.
Let me go back here. There we go.
So we left that obviously untouched. We wanted people to know that we are crazy enough to take a rare car and do that to it. But the whole idea was, let's see what we can't use and kind of blend together. So we took the 2012 and we wanted to make it kind of look like a 6970 body. But then kind of change things up a little bit. And essentially, for example, what we did on the hood was, that's comprised of 3 different hoods. You have the underside of the 2012, the top side came from our 1969 hood mold, and then the center section, about where the peak starts to kind of space out a little bit, is from a 1968 GTO.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so the whole thing blends super well.
And it's just so, it's obviously SEMA level, and this is what you expect to see at SEMA. It's just, I can't get over how perfect, it's just absolutely perfect and flawless.
One cool thing too, always bothered me from Ford, was the 1970 Mustang headlight buckets had fake air ducts in it, right here. So we took those out and added an HID from a 2015.
Oh, very nice.
But we still wanted to keep the air ducts, but try to make them work. So when we cut that piece out, we moved it down here to our custom bottom pan and routed it to the brakes. So that came out of this, literally, and now it routes to the brakes.
And I see some very nice, what kind of brakes do you have going on here?
That is Baer 6-piston caliper. This being the Frankenboss, it made so much sense that their brake was called Monster Green, so we kind of jumped on it right away.
And I like that green. It actually fits the
whole thing.
Offsets the car, perfectly. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, if you notice, even in the interior and on the headlights, we have our own Boss 302 logo that has little bolts on the side of it to represent the Frankenboss build.
Excellent.
Very subtle.
And do you know what the color of the car is?
So my painter's not here. It's actually from a Honda. It's a Honda blue color. I think that was on one of the Civics. But I mean, this color just transforms. It's very almost black in certain lights. You take it outside, it pops. The metallic's just unreal. This back end has become a lot of people's favorite parts. So this is a 69 Mustang taillight panel, and we had flush mounted taillights made and ordered from England. And then the actual bulbs are from the 2012 itself. And then we took the bezels and had them wrapped in carbon fiber. This trunk was probably one of the more difficult pieces to make because we used R69 quarters instead of the 2012 quarters. And so we knew we wanted to do this, but I wanted it to look like a 69, 68 Charger. And so we wanted the windshield to recess down. And we couldn't use our normal deck lid, which goes in flow with the C-pillars. So what we ended up doing was creating a whole new trunk that would start off in the same kind of wave that the quarters are in, but then go straight into the rear windshield,
Okay.
much like a '69 Charger would be. So we kind of wanted to have that old school muscle car recessed windshield look.
Now that you're saying that, I kind of get that feel off of it,
Yes.
the vibe off of it.
Yeah, we wanted it to have its own unique look for sure.
And I saw something in the back seat here. Is that a guitar, it looks like?
Yeah, Petway Guitars, right out of our hometown in Paducah, Kentucky.
Oh, nice.
They custom made a Frankenboss guitar to match the theme of the build.
That is really nice. What's so I always like to ask, like jokingly ask, like, what's one thing that you love about it, and what's something that just drove you nuts when you guys were building it?
Oh, the thing I probably love the most about it, it's hard to go between the back end and the front end to me because we drew this and got pretty dang close to what we hand drew. The GTO hood, because I love GTOs, I love that we made that work with a '69 Mustang style hood. I'm so proud of that. But I'm proud of the back end too because I've had a couple people say it reminds them of a Charger, and that's what we were after.
Yeah, it really feels like that.
So that kind of adulation is really good. The one thing I don't like is that it's not our personal car, that another gentleman owns it. So after we do a show circuit in it, it's going to go not in my garage, but to someone else. So that's the thing I like the least about it, is that it ain't mine. But we very, 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 very rarely have we had someone say, oh, you guys can build this however you want. That was this case. This guy said, you can build it however you want.
Okay.
He didn't have a clear defined vision for it other than he wanted something totally different.
So that's an awesome story. It's a very rare thing where you're actually able to do whatever you want, have the free reign over it.
Absolutely.
And not have someone saying, what about this or what about that? So it's a really, really nice, really, really awesome.
That's a good thing.
I guess
he's
I'm just
speechless.
Honestly, I'm speechless. So
yeah, he's speechless. That's the whole thing.
I'm really speechless. So.
We want the pros to freak out. Do we have something in mind for next year? Getting it done earlier. Because we've been burning the candle on both ends on this thing. So I don't know. A lot of what shapes the next year is how it goes at these shows, and I kind of get the ideas based on the reaction from the build this year. So I'm sure by the end of this show, on the ride home, I'll already have something thought up, because that's literally everything was with this. Like, I got back home and was like, my cousin that does our drawings, I got a hold of him and said, this is kind of my ideas. Owner flew in December, and we executed them with him, made sure he was okay with everything, and then pretty much got to work.
That's such a great testament to SEMA here, because there's so much, like, there's that thing and that thing, and some of these you kind of know what they are, but they're so customized that they are just a unique one-of-one kind of situation. Aaron, thank you so much for taking the time to chat and building the Frankenboss. Incredible machine. Folks, with that, if you like classic cars, if you like muscle cars, if you like Frankenbosses, if you like Mustangs and Chargers and Chevelles and all the rest, Fresh Vintage is your channel. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and make sure you keep it between the ditches.